Part two of a doubleheader roundabout ready to kick underway back at Stars Park. Harris Stowe hosts Columbia College for the second time in about 2 hours and 53 minutes or so, getting into semantics. My name's Dan Rodier. Joined alongside me here is Jim Plyman. And for our second of two games, Harris Stowe looks to resurge from a Game 1 trouncing 21-4, including a 7-run seventh inning. It was a touchdown of a seventh inning against a couple safeties overall for Harris Stowe. Could have been improved on later on. They certainly needed it to be overall. Just to lead you through what things look like on both sides, Austin Martin will lead off again, followed by Zamari Tillman, Stephen Huggins, Walker Mann, Jaden Matthews, Jeremy Kelly, Malvin Gutierrez, Yabnel Mahika will enter as well, and Michael Katkar. That's for Harris Stowe. Here for Columbia College, Jaden James again will lead off. He's playing third base, followed by Bailey Quint and Tyler Wren. We'll cover the rest in just a second. Starting pitcher with 1 inning pitched this season, Jerron Harvell. He has 0 runs or earned runs overall here, Jim.
And as we enter this game, Columbia College 14-3 on the season, 9-2 now in conference play. And Harris Stowe 3-13 and 1-10 in conference play.
Things have improved for Columbia College and not so much for Harris Stowe since the day started. This is the second half of what should have been back-to-back doubleheaders 3 weekends ago. That in the dirt falls at the feet of the catcher and no speed enough to first base. Tragedy has struck already, wasting no time. Jaden Matthews had the ball die at the bottom of his glove.
Yep. And then he couldn't find it, and hopefully everybody was yelling feet, feet, because it was there at his feet.
It was.
But by the time he picked it up, it was too late. James beat it down to first.
I mean, good speed there and good wherewithal as well, importantly enough, but just unfortunate to understate the obvious. So James does get over to first. Leadoff man is aboard. There are no pictures on the scorecard. That's what matters. However, KE2 is still written down. This is Bailey Quint. Not his first time at bat today. He looked at least halfway decent in our first game. Couple hits, couple runs scored, was stranded on third. He had 3 singles and 3 flyouts in 6 ABs. That one fouled out to the right. Now, notably, Stephen Huggins is still in the game as compared to last game, but he is not DHing. That has fallen to the hands of Jeremy Kelly, who was previously the left fielder. The left fielding duties have fallen to Yabnel Mahika. And Huggins is now at first base, but he won't get all that much more action as James is able to move over to second and nearly third. That was nearly scary. Okay. Jeez. Not the start they were looking for. That's for sure.
It is not. That's a couple now that have gotten away from the catcher. Jaden Matthews.
The 1-2 here popped straight up in the air, dead center of the infield. Should be playable for multiple players. It is indeed for Quint, who is able to field it and make the out. 1 down here at the top of the first.
Well, Michael Katkar was definitely battling the sun there again.
Yeah.
And the glass is down that time, and he made the catch.
So where is Katkar moved to?
He's at second base.
He is. Why do I not have him?
You're on the wrong side.
I'm on the wrong side. I wrote down Quint for some reason. My apologies, Senor Katkar.
He's on the other team.
Yeah. I had the wrong side of my lineup card out for like 2 seconds. He's the only guy I wrote down for the wrong team.
It happens.
Rookie mistake. So I pop out to the second baseman. It's how the first out is recorded of the day. Jerron Harvell already looking pretty good in his delivery. He will step off and give an extra second to Jaden James at second base. He's got good speed. I mean, his delivery's clean.
Javon Harnell reminds me a little bit of Lee Smith.
He's got a really clean delivery. And that one just dropped off the face of the earth. Maybe a slow change, it seemed. I don't even know what you want to call it.
I need one of those in my repertoire.
I went a little high. Didn't get the drop he was looking for. Harvell again comes into this game with 0 runs given up total, but only 1 inning of work thus far this season. Despite the fact that Harris Stowe has played a fair few games, they have had a mostly concentrated roster of pitching. This one well out towards right field, not tagging up at second base. Maybe a mental error for Jaden James. He was looking to score if the ball hit the ground, and James tapping his chest saying, yeah, that's my bad, as he stays at second, an unproductive out for Tyler Wren as he flies out to right field.
Well, Tyler Wren in the first inning of the last game hit one over to right field wall on a line drive bullet, and that wasn't all that far from being another one.
It's 2 outs here in the top half of the first inning. James on second base, strike 1 to McGinnis. Braden McGinnis steps in after similarly a productive first game. However, you can say that for virtually the entire team for Columbia College. I don't think there is a single roster slot available in their batting order that did not score.
Yeah.
I just checked my notes. Yeah, everybody scored at least once. At least every batting order slot scored. What a block to at least keep it from going to the backstop there for Matthews, but he cannot prevent the runner from moving over, so James gets to third.
Well, that might have been a waste pitch, but it did get away from him. The runner did move up.
So the problem is with those waste pitches, they have to still be productive. It's a waste pitch to set something else up rather than a waste pitch just to waste it for the sake of, I'm going to say it, wasting it. So Harvell with a 1-2 count just inside. He may have gotten him a little bit better should that previous pitch have been slightly more accurate. That goes to the infield of our softball field.
All the way to the infield.
That thing had some distance on it, despite the fact that it landed in the infield. If that sounds like an oxymoron, I promise you, if you were standing here, it would make a whole lot more sense.
It had a little exit velo to it.
That's true. McGinnis trying to put one square back up the middle. He did indeed. Better piece of hitting. Talk about straighten it out. I think that landed 3 feet directly over the second base bag. Could have just flattened out itself. Either way, it's an RBI single for Braden McGinnis and a run scores for Columbia College in the first inning.
Well, McGinnis, as you mentioned in that last game, he had a couple of hits, a couple of RBIs, picks up another one here. He's off to a great start of this season.
Strike 1 to Matashek. Matashek doubled twice, walked twice, and was hit by a pitch. He was 2 for 3 on the game with 2 runs scored. He was stranded twice as well. The lefty swings and misses at that one. He's wearing Under Armour, interestingly enough. I don't know how he's not extremely warm under that jersey. It is, as you said, a perfect day for baseball.
It is beautiful.
Harvell out in front. Throws that one well into the other batter's box.
Well, Harvell could be out of this inning. He had a strikeout of the first batter, but he reached on the ball that the catcher couldn't corral.
Actually corralled it pretty well. He just couldn't find it. Matashek with a 1-2 count against him. Swings and puts it out to right center. He's got some exit velo on it. He's got the launch angle. Will it reach? It will not. It hits off the wall. Over the fence. It's the wrong wall to land. Harris Stowe gives up 3 in the away half of the first, and it is a second first-inning home run in 2 games for Columbia College. And it's Jack Matashek to send one just over the right center field wall.
For Matashek, that's his 4th home run of the year, and that was a bomb.
You want to talk about how different this game could be.
Yeah.
We could be a batter or 2 into the Harris Stowe side.
Yep.
If not, at least finishing up our pitching warm-up for the opposing starting pitcher, Deshaun Morgan. Instead, a home run after the KE2 to lead things off. who proceeded to score on the Bradley McGinnis single, and then McGinnis was able to jog his way around after Jack Matashek sent one over right center field wall. It certainly had the launch angle. I didn't know he had the distance for it. It hit off the wall. I was thinking, that'll go down. He'll get a double, maybe an RBI.
Concrete wall behind the wall.
There's like 3 or 4 walls out there. This construction's really confusing me. That one's square down Broadway, 3-0. Understandably, Dylan Carlton did not have the green light. 3-1 now that count against him. You got to feel bad for Harvell, who really had stellar pitch command. No real mistakes have been made by anybody, period. I mean, apart from Matthews just not being able to find the ball, which you can't even call that a mistake. It just happens. You don't know exactly where it goes. You have a pop out to the second baseman, easily fielded. Fly out to the right fielder, easily fielded. And arguably, James made a mistake at second base because he didn't realize how many outs there were. And then McGinnis singles is what it is. It was a good pitch. He hit a good ball up the middle. And now, with a walk to Carlton, there's another runner on with 2 outs. Notably enough, all of the first inning runs scored by Columbia College today, in this game and the previous, have been scored with 2 outs. The rally caps are certainly rally capping for Columbia College, that's for sure.
Well, the hitting is contagious. And once guys start hitting, the next guy up wants to do the same thing, and you can just see by the batting averages that the Cougars have, and they're just a confident ball club.
This one popped out behind us.
I mean, they came into today hitting .359 as a team.
That's scary. That's really scary, especially when they are getting up into the, second or third string players at the tail end of some of their double-digit wins. That one poked out to the left side. The first AB of the day for Chase McCaig sneaks through. The DH is on the board, and he just pushes that one. It arguably would have been a strike anyway if he didn't throw the bat out at it. A little backdoor curveball is swung at and poked between the short and third hole, and it's first and second now with 2 outs. What a piece of hit.
That was very nicely done. And then I was just going to say the run differential, 158.
What?
158. That's what they have scored, and they have given up 59.
Does that include?
That includes the last game.
A 99 run differential in 17 games.
There you go.
That's not supposed to happen. Good for them. Credit where it's due. That's an impressive offensive ball club right there. Harvell with 2 on and 2 out. That one just inside. Another first batter of the day, Tyler Davis, center fielder here for the Cougars in game number 2. He is replacing who replaced Schulte in the previous round. It was O'Neill, who was the pinch batter. Step off for Harvell. Needs to be careful with how he does so. It looked a little awkward. I always found when I pick up my right foot as a right-handed pitcher, it can get stuck on the rubber.
Yes, it can.
The only time I go back is if I'm picking up my leg and going that way or wheel moving.
Mine is the wheel.
This one towards the shortstop hole, fielded easily by Martin. He'll throw it all the way over to first, and the stretch for Huggins, the tall left-hander, gets over there and will assist in retiring the side. However, it's not without damage done. Columbia College, again, a 2-out rally in the first inning of a ball game today. A home run alongside a KE2, and McGinnis reaching on a single with an RBI of his own. Makes it 3-0 Columbia College into the bottom half of the first inning here on the Hornet Sports Network. So it will be Austin Martin leading off the home half of the first inning. And on the bump to kick things away, it's Deshaun Morgan. A 10.8 ERA, but an only 1.2 innings pitched. For all of you who copiously follow baseball statistics, that's just 2 earned runs in limited IPs at home. Morgan has had a bit of a history behind this and this specific at-bat pairing. 93 miles an hour or so to the head of Martin. Sent him out with a concussion for a considerable amount of time. So there's some history behind this pairing. Hopefully nothing that will continue to any of the same results today. 2-1 count on Martin. That one he shrugs back and has to fully disengage, but it's a ball, 3-1. Talk about jump scare.
Yeah.
Against a pitcher you've already faced, literally. So Martin 3-1. Would love to kick things away with a single. If not, at least getting on base. Won't be able to do so on that pitch. Sneaks in on the lower side for a strike. Full count to the leadoff hitter. Martin was in no rush to get over to first base on that one. Seemingly he agreed with it. That one goes well outside anyway, and he'll actually start sprinting towards first. He may round and move towards second. He decides better of it, but he at least reaches to start things off. Each team gets a leadoff hitter aboard.
Yeah, there's not a large amount of space behind the catcher to the backstop.
No, not
here.
really. As fun as that would be. Zamari Tillman comes in to bat second. I've already led you through the entire Harris Stowe offensive lineup. Tillman squares to bunt and pops it well over the back of our press box. The defensive lineup is as such for Columbia College. Wren behind the plate. McCake is the DH. McGinnis at first. Quinn at second. Dunn at short. James at third. Left to right in the outfield. Matashek, Davis, Carlton. The only change or notable real changes are the DH spot and Davis in center. And that, again, is because of the hand injury.
That was close to the camera and the lady that's down there taking pictures. That was a shot right at the screen.
She is. That's got to take some gall to have that large of a lens.
She took a picture of that.
That's like an inch and a half from the net. I'd be maybe 20 feet behind, but then I'd have the net in my frame. That's the only reason she's probably that close. Tillman already facing the 0-2. He gets nailed in the back. That looked like it hurt, and with the speed that's being thrown by Morgan, you can guarantee it did. Morgan slightly apologetic, and Tillman understands it is of no direct intentional fault.
That's saying there's no crying in baseball.
I'd understand if.
Yeah, sometimes that rule can be bent.
Shed a tear. I'd shed multiple.
Yeah.
That's why I stopped batting. There was a designated fielder. I'd do that. I was also just a terrible batter, regardless of whether I was scared of curveballs hitting me or not. But that's neither here nor there. New count, new batter. At least not in this game. Stephen Huggins, again, the starting pitcher of our previous game. He also was the DH and stayed the DH even after his starting pitching role ended after the second inning of work. Morgan's having a conversation already. So we talked about this before the game started. That is a very interesting statistic. He has 3 appearances. 2 of those appearances are from started games, but only 1.2 innings pitched. And it's not like he's given up 40 runs. It's 2. He's given up 2 earned runs.
Yeah.
And I already see some movement in the Cougar bullpen. Yeah. They haven't recorded an out. Interesting decision, we'll say the very least. I read number 15 out in the Columbia College bullpen. Thank you very much, 21-year-old vision. Much appreciated. Stephen Huggins.
Well, I'm not going to say how my eyes are, but with the binoculars, you are correct.
Rarely happens. I'll take it where I can find it. Huggins fouls one back. I need to make sure my car isn't hit.
Nope. No cars.
I parked back there.
No, you're good.
Huggins is really my only threat to my parking spot. He's a little behind on that one. Understandable considering the pitchers he faced in the previous game. Huggins faces the 1-1 with 2 on board, nobody out. First and second. First is Tillman, second is Martin. Martin's running towards third, and he gets in there safely. Tillman behind him didn't realize he was going to go. He's very fortunate to reach safely to third, only because the ball was dropped by the third baseman, James. Decent throw by the catcher, Wren, who's had his work cut out for him this afternoon.
Well, Wren couldn't have had a better pitch to throw down to third. The pitch was outside and low, and he just caught it and threw it.
Got it over there. That one high. Ball 3. 3-1. Now runners on second and third. Still nobody out here for Harris Stowe. And just the hitter you want to have at the plate is certainly there.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach Darren Munn's patience is very short on this starter.
Morgan didn't nearly hit Huggins, but he was close enough to do so to where it's still a ball. And the bases are loaded for the 4-hitter, Walker Mann. Now, going back to our previous game, Walker Mann had a fair amount of activity, but
that's it.
It'll be a couple minutes till we see him do so. Mann had a double in the first game. He also grounded out to the first baseman and to shortstop. He only had 3 ABs. So did almost the entire team except for Martin, Tillman, and maybe Neal. I think it was only Martin and Tillman who got to bat apart from the 9-hitter Cut Carr in that 7th inning. But a very quick call to the bullpen. All 3 of the base runners in the field will be attributed to the starting pitcher of Deshaun Morgan. However, if any of them score, he could have a technical infinite ERA because he did not have any of an inning pitched. We'll see if that ends up being the case and if I can bring up a very niche baseball statistic in just a couple minutes after a warm-up comes from the Cougar reliever here on the Hornet Sports Network. So the token reliever enters the game with the bases loaded and nobody out in the first inning of play. Morgan has 0 innings pitched in this performance, if you can even say it's long enough for a performance. Maybe just a small intermission between pitchers. We'll call it that. So Grant Burson enters the game. He's got 3 appearances, 4 innings pitched. He's given up 6 hits, 6 runs, 3 of those earned. He's struck out 5 batters, given up a couple doubles, and has a 6.75 ERA. That will not rise right now, but that struck down the left field line. 2 will score. The third runs to third. It is a bases nearly clearing double for Walker Mann, and Harris Stowe is within 1 in the first inning.
Well, that was the classic see it, hit it pitch. It was a curveball out over the plate, and Mann just turned those wrists over and ripped it into the left field corner and gets the Hornets right back into this game, and there is still nobody out.
Just a bit inside there for Jaden Matthews, the catcher taking over from our previous game in favor of Neal. Second pitch, he pokes it out towards the right side, gets just by the first baseman. Some PFP if he can get over there, he does. Good fielding by Grant Burson with a throw over courtesy of Quint. The out is recorded, but so too is a run. Both the runners move up, one of them to score, and it's a tie game here in the first inning as the Hornets certainly sting back in retaliation for the results of the top.
Well, it turns out it's a nice defensive play by the Cougars and a good job by the pitcher who just got into the game. It had the wherewithal to know he had to cover first. He wasn't just asleep on the mound, so I do give him some credit for that.
That's one thing that's been really impressive to me since watching some collegiate ball this year. I've seen some amazing pitcher fielding practice, which is one thing that was drilled into my skull as a 9-year-old. So, that certainly helps everybody's case. Hopefully some background on that front. Square up the middle now with some speed for Kelly. If he can get over there, he can't. Second out is recorded. But another run scores. Harris Stowe, for the first time today, maybe the first time this season, I'd have to go check my notes, has the lead against Columbia College.
Well, if you're Kelly, it's just simple baseball. You just get your bat on the ball. The shortstop and second baseman are back deep, and just get the bat on the ball, and that'll bring the run home, as it did.
So 2 outs now for Malvin Gutierrez. We had a conversation with him between games as he gets hit by another pitch. He's had 0 at-bats today. He's had 0 at-bats today. Is that right? Or was it 3 at-bats in the first game? No, he is 0 for 1 with 3 hit by pitches and a fly out to left. I cannot believe it. What a stat. We had a couple interesting stats thus far in this one.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to see at a baseball game. It's no script. You just never know what can happen. It's what makes the game so great.
More often than not, the previous play does not determine what can happen on the next. That one grounded up the middle. Good speed to get over there, but they can't get it to second. Great job by Gutierrez not to slide into second because he needed to get there with some speed. He's looking down like he hurt something on the way through. It may still be the hit by pitch getting to him one pitch later. And it's first and second now for Stowe as Yabdel Mojica gets on base. We'll call it a single.
Yeah,
I'd say it's an infield hit.
Yeah, it is. And there's no other way to call it.
A failed fielder's choice, if you will.
Yeah, they just didn't get there in time.
Michael Katkar definitely went, and the first base umpire correctly calls it such. 0-1 to the 9-hitter.
Yeah, the ball was never bobbled or anything. It just fielded and just didn't get it there fast enough.
Luckily, Gutierrez has some speed behind him.
Look out.
Katkar almost takes out the guy standing in front of the bullpen, who still has not turned around.
Moved. He'd have never known what hit him.
He did not realize that his life was in danger. And as soon as he was told that, he turns around like, yeah, no big deal.
Yeah.
Michael Katkar now with an 0-2 count. 2 outs and 2 runners on. Not swinging at that one. And it's a ball outside. In the previous game, that's strike 3.
Tyler Wren framed that one. Thought he might get the call. He didn't.
Whether it would have been correctly strike 3 or not.
So Katkar gets another chance.
A stay of execution maybe for the 9-hitter. He's had his fair few opportunities thus far today. That one catches the top half of the zone. If the first of those 2 was not strike 3, the second one certainly was. Each of them close. Either one of them could have been the case. That one ends the backwards K and ends thus the bottom half of the first inning. But 4 instances of striking for the Hornets. All 4 of the opening batters score, courtesy of a couple ground outs as well at the tail end of things. And 2 runners get stranded as Harris Stowe takes the lead here at home over Columbia College. We'll come back here on the Hornet Sports Network. So an interesting statistic. Deshaun Morgan has 0 innings pitched in this game and 3 earned runs against him. All 3 of those runners that loaded the bases when Grant Burson came in were attributed to Morgan. 3 of those 4 in the inning went to him, and that's how Harris Stowe got the lead. Back to the away half of the second inning. Jack Dunn, the 9-hitter, takes over against Jerron Harvell, who looked amazing in the first inning, despite the fact he gave up 3 runs. Arguably, none of them his fault. He had good pitches. It was just a few good pieces of hitting and an unfortunate KE2 that cost them those 3 runs. Jack Dunn already up 2-0. He will watch strike 1 go by. A little bit of a hanging curveball, but on a 2-0 count, sometimes you can get away with that.
Well, let's see what the Cougars have in store. They have scored in every inning today, and they've only 1 inning was it a non-crooked number.
That one down the left field line, it just barely goes foul. The third base umpire was slightly blocked by Gutierrez on his way over, so he did not see it. Home plate umpire was the one who made the call. It looked pretty fair. I'd say that one was more foul than the amazing play that should have ended game 1.
Mullinax made in that first game, yeah.
I talked with him between games. I said I would have called it fair for the love of the game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't get to make that determination.
For it was 21-4, too.
That's a really good point. It really didn't matter. 3-2 count to the leadoff hitter of the second inning, Jack Dunn. He swings and pops one down the left field line. It will fall in for a hit. He will round first and stay there. Good bit of fielding down in left by Mojica. He gets it into the cutoff man, and thus at least a single Dunn is held to.
Fourth hit of the game for the Cougars, as they have now gone through their lineup once, and they turned it back over to Jaden James.
You want to talk about productive days. James has, in chronological order, fly out to center, single and scored, fly out to left.
There's a wild pitch.
A wild pitch will move one up. He had a home run in the 5th. He reached on an error. He had a sac fly and an RBI in the 7th inning where they scored 7. And on the KE2 in the first inning, he scored. He has, today total, 3 runs scored. I count 4 RBIs, if not at least 3, and as a leadoff hitter, no less.
And his uniform is clean.
It's pretty impressive. Odd play. He was going for the wheel move to second, he being Harvell. However, on his way, Cat Car was kind of moving away from second. Decides not to try and pick him off a second time. We'll throw ball 2. Is that called a strike? It was called a strike. Not what I thought was going to be ball 2, at least. The DAN strike zone instead of the ABS strike zone. 1-1 count. That one looked like it hit him. It did indeed. Umpire signaling it caught the inside of his elbow, if not his jersey, on the way through. Either way, a hit by pitch is a hit by pitch. That is the second of the game. 1 for each team thus far. One was a lot more painful than the other. But Harvell is stretching out above the mound. I'm never a fan of when people are stretching in the middle of the game. It slightly scares me.
Well, a base hit, a hit by pitch. And here comes that Cougar offense again, the 2, 3, and 4 guys coming up, and they just cause damage left and right.
Pop out to the second baseman last time around for Bailey Quint. He will watch ball 1 go, and conversation will be had at the mound by Jaden Matthews. That was a great time just to tell him to breathe. I mean, a ground ball, at least a good one, and you've got a runner on third with 2 outs. Any fly ball, and very rarely are players trying to move up at this point because the outfield arms for Harris Stowe have been very good today, and Columbia College has already seen that.
They have. I agree.
If I'm Stowe here, I am playing for a ball to the defense. one run is significantly better than trying to paint a corner and kind of leaving it out there and giving up either a home run, if not a multiple run double. Your defense has been good today. Very few glaring errors in their time. Harvell pitching straight to it. That one towards left field. Maybe too much. Pitching to the defense. How about pitching it over the fence? Grab a pitching wedge for the distance on that one. Round about 130 yards for most of you PGA professionals out there. And Bailey Quint with a 3-run shot makes it 6-4. Blink and you miss it. The lead goes back to Columbia College.
Another crooked number in an inning. Just tremendous offense for the Cougars. Wow. There was no doubt about that one.
No, sir. There was a little doubt for the left fielder, Mojica, and that's only because he has not played third base for the entire day. Or left field for the entire day. Harvell is being looked at by the trainer. He was stretching prior to that at-bat starting. I'm honestly a little surprised they didn't have a conversation then. I am not too enthused when trainers have to enter the field, much less when they do so for more than 4 seconds.
And for Bailey Quint, that is his 4th home run of the year. Drove in 3 on that one. He has 4 RBIs on the day. No, he's got 3 RBIs on the day. That was his replacement that had 1. So he now has 14 RBIs on the season. And somebody hops up to start loosening up in the Hornet bullpen.
Not sure what Harvell is. And I can't tell if it's his back or like his left side, just under his arm. Because his pitching arm seems to be fine. It was on that pitch, and there wasn't a direct reaction to that. But
looks like they're going to make a.
They will make a pitching change. And this is an unfortunate pitching change for Harvell, who had been, throwing very well up until he started stretching before that AB.
It's something on his right side.
So Harvell will have a replacement. We'll figure out who it is, a couple statistics behind them, and how that affects the Columbia College attempted offense in just a couple minutes here on the Hornet Sports Network. Columbia College retakes the lead with just 1 swing of the bat. Kike Romero takes over here in the top half of the second inning. An unfortunate exit for Jerron Harvell, who just seemed to be slightly injured on his right side. It was his pitching side at the end of the day. And he will have a medical exit, it seems. So Kike Romero takes over. 12.1 innings pitched thus far this season. He does have a save, but his win-loss is 0-3 thus far. A 14.59 ERA with 20 earned runs through 12 and a third innings pitched. He has given up a fair few hits, 24 hits. That one could very well be 25, but he's trying to defend his own position. Kotkar looking for it. Huggins comes in and will make the catch after reaching well out to his right side. And Harris Stowe will retire the first batter of the second part of this second inning, we'll call it, with a new pitcher on the board. Add an asterisk to it. A very high P3. Bradley McGinnis with his real inning opening single in that first inning. He lined it square up the middle, basically tailed around the body of Jerron Harvell and landed a 1.5 feet over the second base bag. That scored one. He proceeded to score off the home run of his successor, Jack Matashek.
Oh. I thought that construction guy was going to get that one on the helmet. It didn't miss him by much.
I've always wondered what happens if a car driving by gets hit by a foul ball in baseball. What's the insurance repercussions for that one? That's a hanging curveball and a very easy knock into center field. Bradley McGinnis has 2 singles, both basically square up the middle.
Your insurance company will tell you not to do that again.
A drive by a baseball field? Breaking news, you have to Google Earth your entire drive before doing it, just to scout out any possible cricket grounds, baseball fields, softball fields.
Golf courses.
That's really where I fear that I'm going to – I have a terrible slice. If I'm too close to a road, somebody's windshield's gone. Nice block.
Nice block by Matthews.
I still have always wondered, knock on wood or whatever's around you. I haven't had to worry about that yet, but – we'll see if that hopefully does not change. Matashek with a runner on. McGinnis, again, is not leading all that much off of first base. And despite that, Kike Romero does not thoroughly enjoy his presence. Make sure he stays there. Runner on first base with an out. After a 3-run home run by Bailey Quint. It's 3 in each of the first 2 innings for Columbia College, and this one's not quite done just yet. Jack Matashek had a home run of his own over the right center field fence. He puts it in the same general direction. Doesn't nearly have the distance, but it really doesn't need to. Going first to third with some speed is Bradley McGinnis, and it is indeed a single for Jack Matashek. He's 2 for 2 on the day, similar to his predecessor.
Just a line drive single. Runners go from first to third, and it was solidly squared up, wasn't it?
Yes, sir. He was reaching a little bit far out for it. It's the only reason he didn't have as much power. Ball was kind of falling away from him as he was swinging. Good little reaction there. Dylan Carlton with a walk, and he was stranded on second base at the tail end of the first inning.
Ooh.
He is nailed by the first pitch, and he still does not have an at-bat in this game, at least not an official one.
Batting number 26, Chase McCabe.
Well, that loads up the bases for McCaig.
You got the righty on lefty matchup as well. McCaig with a single already in this game. He was then stranded at first after the Davis ground out. But they're a batter from batting around here in this second inning. And with only 1 out, a ground out's basically the only thing that will prevent that. McGinnis on third, Matashek on second, Carlton on first after that hit by pitch. Here's the offering from Romero. Strike on the outer part of the plate. Nice little two-seamer that kind of backdoored its way into the strike zone. But by no means has it been a comfortable open to this game for Harris Stowe. That one nearly hits McCaig as well. Would have sent a run in. There's no place to put him with the bases juiced. 1-1 from Romero. With McCaig readily waiting. He'll watch that one go by. But a couple inches further outside, they don't get that call. It's 2-1. A little hesitancy from Matthews there. He was expecting to hear strike from behind him. He was not as fortunate. Romero high and away that time around. 3-1. I'm not going to say this is starting to become unrecoverable because it's still just one inning, but it's not making their lives any easier for the Hornets side.
Boy, do they need a double play.
Here's that case. 3-1. Ball away, and a run scores for Columbia College. Already a 4-piece put up in this second inning, and it is not done. Bradley McGinnis comes home and scores. Matashek to third, Carlton to second, McCaig over to first on the base on balls, and everybody moves up a station. Braden McGinnis, I apologize. That one's square down Broadway. It's something Romero probably could have used in the previous at-bat, but it was very liable to be sent over the fence for the designated hitter. Davis is one of only 2 players in the lineup who hasn't gotten on base yet. He very nearly changed that there, but was unsuccessful. The only other is Tyler Wren, who's got a fly out and a pop out in each of our first 2 innings. And, I mean, if that pop out was straightened out, it would have had the distance to get back into the Mississippi River, but thus it did not. Davis, square up the middle. He puts it right up Broadway in the sliding stop. It will hit the ground and stay alive. 2 runs will come home to score. First to third for McCaig after the base on balls himself. And it is indeed a 2-run single for Tyler Davis. Columbia College now with 9 on the board.
Just a hanging curveball that was ripped into center field. Tillman, he wanted to come in and dive on it. He didn't get a great jump on it. And he was lucky he kept it in front of him or they'd still be running. And here we are in the second inning, and every batter will have batted twice already for the Cougars.
Can he pick off both players so I don't have to scratch out inning numbers on my scorecard, please? Purely for convenience sake. Nearly nails the head of Jack Dunn, who started off this inning with a single. He got to second on a wild pitch and then proceeded to score again on the Bailey Quint home run that happened in this inning. The only reason that that's really notable is because there was that pitching change. I was talking about pickoffs. That one's unsuccessful. But Tyler Davis reaching there. The only player yet to reach base is Tyler Wren for Harris Stowe. Another pickoff attempt. That one's unsuccessful as well. He is one of 3 players without a hit. Dylan Carlton is a hit by pitch and a walk. Jaden James, a KE2 and a hit by pitch. And then the 2 outs for Tyler Wren. Round out that number. Jack Dunn with the 1-0 after a couple pickoff attempts. Strike 1.
That's a great pitch there.
Keep it there all game. Except I think it's Bailey Quint who's able to turn on things that are basically thrown right at him. I could be wrong. I do apologize if I am. That one's outside. Good communication from Jack Dunn, telling Chase McCaig to stay where he is.
It's like Dunn has had guys on base almost every time he's been to plate today.
You can thank the 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 8 hitters of Columbia College. But at the same time, you look at most of that roster, and most of them have had runners on just about every time they've come to the plate, except for when they're leading off, which ironically enough, that's what happened to Jack Dunn this inning. He led off and then proceeded to score anyway, and then he got hit by a pitch. Second one this inning. Third one this inning. And the bases are loaded again. So back to the top, and some more activity, it seems, in that Hornet bullpen. Kike Romero, since taking over, has recorded an out on Tyler Wren.
It was the first man he faced.
Yep. Since then, a couple of hit by pitches, a couple more walks, a few more singles, and a whole host of 3 runs. 3 more on base. If it hasn't already, this has a very easy propensity to get out of hand. With Jaden James at the plate. That one, curveball, escapes well off. 2-0. Again, James with reaching on the drop third strike to open up the game. He was then hit by a pitch. On both occasions, he scored. The latter of those 2 was in this inning. That one high. James shaking his head, telling the umpire it's not a strike, and apparently the umpire agrees. It's ball 3.
Look out here. Could groove one.
3-0. You'd have to imagine he has the green light. James didn't need it. A walk and a run. Columbia College, in the span of an inning and a third, has 10 on the board. So McCaig scores. Davis to third. Dunn to second. Jaden James was the man who got over to first. And ball 1 high to Bailey Quint, who already has a home run in this inning. Heavy sigh. Ball 2 outside. For all of you Columbia College fans who may be watching this from home, this is slightly a home broadcast. So apologies if we sound slightly biased. We are sitting next to half the Harris-Stowe staff. That one laced out towards left center. Does it have the distance? Does it have the legs? It does not even to stay in the field. It is called an out and a drop on the transfer. So a fly out to center with a lot of distance on it for Bailey Quint. But he does get a sac fly out of it. So no technical at-bat as a negative result.
That is exactly what it is.
And
they give Tillman credit for he ran a long way
I
to
can't
get
believe he
that
got
ball.
there. I thought it was out of the park.
He ran a long way to get that ball.
So out number 2 and out number 1 are separated by 8 batters. Here is out number 1, and it won't be out number 3. That one's laced down the left field line. Going from first to third, if not trying to score now with some speed, is Jaden James. The relay from third, is it in time? It's not. They call him safe. I thought he was dead to rights. What a relay from left field.
Wow.
Moving over to get there as well for Harris-Stowe was Martin. I thought it would be Gutierrez to go out and get it. But from Mojica to Martin into Matthews, no 3M into a 3-out.
That was bang at the plate there, but must have got a foot in there. And no longer is Tyler Wren the only one not to have a hit or reach base in this game for the Cougars. He went to third on the throw.
Probably a double advancing on the throw.
2 RBIs.
I cannot believe they called him safe. I feel like that Pirates commentator on that throw from third base in like the 17th inning of that game. I could not tell you who they were playing or what inning it was, but according to Senor Kyle Gessler next to me, it's Atlanta Braves about in the 18th. I was somewhat close to my guess. What did I say, 17th? That one towards left center field as well. It didn't sound like it had the distance. It certainly does not. Finally, the tragedy ends. Mojica finishes what he tried to start in the previous batter, but an extra run scores for Columbia College. 13-4 with 9 runs coming to the plate in the second inning. They bat around and then some. Braden McGinnis flies out to left. That's what finally ends it as we go to the bottom half of the second. Harris Stowe has a way to get back into things. They had a lead after 1, but after giving up 10 runs in the second inning, it is 13-4 Columbia College. Back to work now against Austin Martin. Goes Grant Burson. This one popped out right in play and dropped an error to start out.
Fighting the sun was Braden McGinnis, and it nicked his glove, and down to the grass it went.
One of the few times I've written an E on the Harris Stowe side of the lineup, apart from a KE2 that ended up being an out anyway earlier. Zamari Tillman has been active. A couple flyouts. He's caught a couple more flyouts. Austin Martin goes to second without a throw. Seemingly no care in the world there for Wren, as the umpires decide to reposition. So leadoff man's aboard, and they've moved him over to second. Pickoff move in that same vein, unsuccessful.
Well, Martin, after the 10-run inning, he comes right in and swings at the first pitch, reaches on an error.
Same case maybe. And here with some sun. I don't think Quint has sunglasses on. No, he has them. They're on his head. They're on his hat.
I don't understand that, but
there's not a cloud in the sky, and he's got sunglasses on his hat. Okay.
I still play with guys that do that. I don't understand.
No, it's a pop out anyway.
Yep, he caught it.
He has not made.
He gets the last laugh.
I don't think he has made an error on a ball in the air thus far today. So that's fair. Ironically enough, the guy without sunglasses on his face catches it. The one with does not. If that makes any sense at home, there you go. One out here with a runner on second. 13-4 Harris Stowe. Columbia College, not Harris Stowe. Ball low to Stephen Huggins.
I think Huggins wants just to belt one out of here.
There's a couple Harris Stowe State signs you could try and target here, if not at least the other side of that shed. Preferably the other side of one of these fences. That's what he's talking about.
Well, he tried on that swing.
Yeah. That's one of those when you swing a little out of your own shoes and you pull a muscle in your back or something. I was thinking like torso. It just hurt. That swing looked like it hurt. That time he swings just to foul it away and stay alive. Huggins at least stays alive with a 1-2 count. The 1-2, part 2, with Austin running. It gets there and will end up in left field off the fists of Huggins, and the hit and run turns into a run and run. Harris Stowe scores here in the second inning, but it is to bring the lead to 9 as Chris Ball hits a three-pointer to bring the lead down to 42.
Well,
That's a reference.
Huggins just inside-outed that one into left field. It was perfectly placed.
And arguably,
they don't have to be pretty.
That's a great throw. That's a great pitch from Grant Burson as well. Sometimes it can be an amazing pitch, if not a perfect pitch, and just a really good piece of hitting. Walker Mann was trying to make it back-to-back good pieces of hitting, at least on pitches. Still trying to do so on at-bats. Huggins on a very short lead at first base. The first basemen have seemingly been in no rush to move around the bases or off of first base when they're at that point. High pitch to Walker Mann. He swings at it for a strike.
He wanted that one.
Oh, yeah.
And it was up at his chin. His eyes got big, and he didn't get it.
1-2 now to Mann. That one a little bit more reasonable to hit. Can it get down over the right fielder's head? It will not. Carlton makes the catch, and Huggins has to track back to first base. Second out of the inning recorded. Matthews hit into that weird St. Louis area code of a putout. Or close to it, at least. 3-4-1. A little half swing at it. Ends up behind the backstop. Matthews doing his best to keep this inning alive. Harris Stowe with 1/10 the runs of Columbia College in this frame. And when I can get into coherent fractions in a baseball game, there are some problems.
That usually means there's a lot of runs being scored.
Already the case here. Matthews, the 1-1. That one just inside. Called a ball. That one on the outside corner. Strike
That was a
2.
beauty.
Realistic possibility to get out of here with a strikeout for Grant Burson. He had one looking to close out the previous inning on Michael Katkar, and he will here as well. Strike 3, and he knew it. Jaden Matthews, goes down to close out the second inning. 13-5 Columbia College here on the Hornet Sports Network.
Sam Britton becomes the third pitcher in in 3 innings for Harris Stowe. He takes over the mound, making his first appearance of the year on the hill for the Hornets, and he will be facing the 5, 6, and 7 hitters in this potent Cougar lineup. Matashak takes strike 1.
That's exactly the way you want to start if you're a reliever coming in, especially after the damage done the previous inning.
Right.
10 runs and 14 batters. Never mind.
And he gets hit.
Never mind.
Matashek was 2 for 2. He had a 2-run homer in the first inning, and he singled and scored in the second inning, and now he starts the third inning out with a hit by pitch. And that'll bring in Dylan Carlton, the right fielder. Carlton has walked, and he was hit by a pitch, and he has scored.
The shortstop, Martin, fixing his shoe. Probably had multiple pebbles in there from his stolen base in the previous inning.
8 of the 9 batters in this Cougar lineup have scored in this game. Good lead from first. Pitch coming is ball 1.
Again, Tyler Wren gets to be an exception to one of our stats.
No. First he didn't. The only one
We're
didn't
not
have
making,
a hit.
I promise we're not
double.
making fun of him.
No, we're not. And then he had a 2-run double.
Yeah, he also had a home run the previous game, so it kind of makes up for it. Let everybody else have a turn.
Britton's next pitch is a ball high.
I was about to say, if they called that a strike, it would have been equally as blasphemous as the safe call at home in the previous inning. He was out. Maybe would have made up for it.
2-0 pitch. That one's a strike on the inside corner. And it makes it 2-1. On deck hitter is Chase Magog. This one's outside. It's 3-1. Hornets just having trouble getting the ball over the plate.
And the few times they do, it ends up going over the fence.
Or they hit somebody. 3-1 pitch. Strike at the knees, much to the dismay of Carlton.
In fact, it's a very good verb to display Carlton's face if you could see it from here. He looked back, saw the strike motion of the home plate umpire, and just shook his head.
Full count, runner at first. He's going. The pitch is slapped into center field for a base hit.
It got
and
by
it gets
him.
by
It
the
got
center
by him.
fielder. It hops
Oh,
right past
no.
him. The runner's going to score all the way from first. And Carlton heads into third base.
That is a single with two base fielding errors in the same motion. I honestly do not think that Matashek would have gone either. He looked like he was holding up, and
Yeah.
as soon as he sees the ball still moving the opposite direction of where he's standing, he just takes off.
Now it's McCaig stepping in. Left-handed batter sees ball 1. Runner on at third now. Nobody out. 1-run home in here for the Cougars. There's a pop fly. That's out of play back here in the parking lot. Lands safely in the grass. No cars are hit.
I'm going to go park in the basketball lot. No, that's my girlfriend's car. My car's in the shop right now. I had a check emissions light on yesterday.
There's another foul. That one's got a chance for a car. Ooh. I think it got the hood of the red one or the trunk of the white one.
I think it got the rear window of the right Honda. That's
Uh-oh.
Somebody go check on that.
1 ball, 2 strikes. There's a shot in the right. That is going to be caught by a man, and here comes a throw home, and he is safe, standing up.
And he's very lucky at the
Great
speed.
throw by Man, by the way.
On 2 hops, he got it there from well into right field. He probably threw that from about 270. He was in a good position to get behind it as well, but a sac fly will score the 15th. And it is back to a 10-run ball game.
Tyler Davis steps in now. Bases are empty. First pitch to him. Ground ball foul. Past the third base coach and down into the left field corner.
He was in no rush to try and field that one. He has played enough baseball in his days.
You've never played enough. Next pitch. This one's popped behind us. That's 0-2.
Oh, it did hit the rear window. Look, she's grabbing her. Oh, no. Yep, that hit the rear window of that Honda Accord. R.I.P. Honda.
0-2 pitch. Curveball right at the
Hello.
third baseman. Gutierrez. Good thing he was awake and paying attention.
You know what he wasn't paying attention to?
How many outs there
The
were.
amount of outs.
He started running into the dugout. Hold on now. And then he played it cool. Handed the pitcher the ball.
Very smooth. What a catch. Couple instances of good positioning for the defense of Harris Stowe. The sac fly out to right, where the well-prepared Walker man was there, and out there to Melvin Gutierrez.
Jack Dunn scored twice in this game. He takes a curveball low there. He singled and scored. He was hit by a pitch and scored. Batting for the third time here in the third inning, as this is the third time through for the batting order. There's a ball. We're in the third inning.
They're almost done their third way through the batting order. That's what's scary. I almost hit him again.
He takes a walk.
Didn't really matter.
So he's singled. He's been hit by a pitch, and then he walks. On base 3 times is Jack Dunn. Around to the top order we go. Jaden James steps in. He's scored 3 runs in this game. Reached on an error, was hit by a pitch, and he walked with the bases loaded. Got an RBI.
Who had that error? Was it
The catcher. That was the
Oh, yeah, it was that
KE2.
pop.
The KE2 is how he got on.
What was his second time in the second inning?
That was hit by pitch.
Did he get hit by a pitch twice?
No, the next time was a walk.
That's what it was. There we go. I forget to circle things.
James down in the count, 0-1. Look out.
Hello.
Ducks underneath that one.
And he dropped the bat.
Yeah, that's important.
I've had 2 fair balls off of almost getting hit by pitches and forgetting to drop the bat.
There's a throw to first. Runner dives back in. 2 outs here in the third inning. It's a 15-5 lead for Columbia College. Next pitch. One off the end of the bat. The ball got a lot of English on it. Scooped up nicely there by Katkar, and the inning is over. 2 runs for the Cougars. They strand 1, and at the end of 2.5, they have a 15-5 lead. As we move to the bottom of the third inning, Jeremy Kelly, Melvin Gutierrez, and Yabno Mojica will be the 3 batters scheduled to face Grant Burson. Burson's first pitch is a fastball inside for a ball.
You know, bar that pitch and maybe a hit by pitch or two. It's been a very efficient day for Burson since he took over. He gave up a double, a couple ground outs, and he had a strikeout looking to close out that first inning. He had a hit by pitch and a single in the middle of that, but that's irrelevant. And, I mean, apart from an error to start out the second, he was basically perfect for the remainder of it.
There's a foul ball sliced to the right side. Hits the new concrete, bounces into the street, and into the parking lot it goes.
I'd feel really bad if there was, like, freshly poured concrete and there's just a baseball
There's
stuck inside.
Ground ball to third, scooped up by James. A long throw right on the money. And the first man is retired as Kelly grounds out to third. And that'll bring in Gutierrez. He was hit by a pitch his first time up.
For the third time today.
Yes, sir.
He was the recipient of that screamer down the third base line the previous inning. Previous half inning.
He takes a good fastball in the inside corner down at the knees for strike one. Burson working quickly, throws a curveball, and that one is swung and missed. And just like that, 2 pitches, 2 strikes. Gutierrez is in the hole. Here comes the next pitch. That's high for a ball.
How quickly Burson's working. It seems like he's got an evening class he wants to get back to or something.
1-2 pitch. Ball 2.
Not at that rate. He's working with some decent speed, though.
Next pitch. Tap foul. We'll do it again.
It's been pretty consistent thus far. For Burson with that speed he's been working with.
2-2 pitch. Here it is. Curveball grounded to James. He gets it on 2 big hops, and he throws the first. Smoothly done there. And now it is James who is 1 put-out away from tying a record of 3 put-outs in an inning. Yabnel Mojica. He had a base hit back in the first inning. He bats now for the second time. Next pitch. That is a beauty. And Grant Burson evens the count. Next pitch. Swing and a miss. Might have tipped it. 1-2.
It seems like as soon as that batter's ready and giving eye contact, Burson is in his windup.
There's another ground ball. This one time the shortstop and a big hop comes up over his glove. That is a Stars Park bounce there.
Got the better of him. That was the reason I was a terrible infielder.
He was down, and then it came up.
Not his fault, but unfortunately for him, will more than likely still be an error. Mojica does reach. Michael Katkar will bat for the second time.
Katkar was called out on strikes. This pitch is in the dirt. Nice block by the catcher, Tyler Wren. He's caught both games here today.
A little convincing pump fake towards first base as well. We've seen some half-hearted pump fakes. I like when there's an actual lack of a disingenuous one.
Another one low. Katkar can reach. We go around to the top of the order to Austin Martin. Next pitch. Fouled off.
Katkar looks like he's seeing the ball pretty well out of the hands of Burson. A little late on that one.
Next pitch. This one's taking the right field, but that's going to drift foul.
Just on the other side of that tarp, but it's basically the same case. Again, Katkar's seen it well, a little late. If he gets himself started a little earlier, he's got the speed to get it there. We've already seen that earlier today with his bat speed. Problem is, does Burson finally pull the chain on him?
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the third inning. 15-5 Cougars ahead. The pitch, there's that curveball, and he gets nothing but air as a strikeout for the second time in the game. And for the first time this game, We have no runs in an inning. We have played 3 full innings, and it is 15-5 here on the Hornet Sports Network in favor of Columbia College. We'll be right back for the 4th inning. We move to the top of the 4th inning, where it is a 15-5 lead for the Columbia College Cougars. And it'll be Bailey Quint up for the 4th time in the game here as we start the 4th inning. It'll be Quint, Wren, and McGinnis. And they are facing Sam Britton. When we entered play today, the conference standings saw Columbia and Missouri Baptist tied at 8-2 apiece. Mission and Central Baptist are 9-3. William Baptist 6-6. William Woods 5-7. Health and Science 5-7, and then Crowley Ridge, Hannibal, and Harris Stowe bring up the bottom 3. It's 2-0 to Quint. He swings and misses that one as he was looking down the left field line and seeing if he could plant that one in the Cougar bullpen.
So, after that pitch, there's strike 2. Crowley's Ridge lost 27-0 to Mobap in Game 1 of their doubleheader, similarly rescheduled from February 24th.
This one is just a bit outside.
I'm grabbing their live stats for Game 2, but I'd imagine it's a very similar scoreline. Their second game should have started about 45 minutes ago or so.
The 3-2 pitch coming. There's ball 4 and a leadoff walk. Never a good thing. And Bailey Quint is on for the 2nd time in this game.
For all of you maybe keeping track of the Mobap score at home, it's 1-0 Mobap, top of the 2nd. I think most of the AMC is playing rescheduled games from that day.
Tyler Wren flied out to right, popped out to first, and jacked a 2-run double. That was back in the 2nd inning for that double. He bats here in the 4th. His team comfortably ahead by 10, 15-5. Runner gets a lead at first. And the pitch. Swing and a long fly ball to center. Back is Tillman at the track, and he drops it. It is down. Tillman drifted over there and right in front of the track, or in front of the wall. He dropped it.
Tillman got there as well. He was seemingly too scared of the wall behind him, didn't know exactly how far it was when he was stepping over there. And that catcher's crouch you see in distant center field, that is the self-reflection of, yeah, I missed that one.
I believe that's Colton Nichols went out to run for Wren, the catcher. And the batter now is Braden McGinnis. So 2 errors in this game for the center fielder. There's a shot in the left, and that is down and past the left fielder. That's going to score 1. Mejia chases it to the track. It's going to score 2 on a double by Braden McInnes.
That one's, again, difficult to read. That's honestly what I thought was going to happen back in our first game. And just an unfortunate break there for Mojica. Because it kept falling away from him, it fell well in front of him. He would have taken a few steps back just to play it on the longer hop. But he was already kind of committed to the attempted catch, and it dropped off the face of the earth and into the face of the earth. Nice little 2-run double. Good piece of hitting again for McInnes, who is 3 for 4 on the day.
Now Matuszak takes the strike. He's had a good second game as well. As a 2-run homer, a single. He's been hit by a pitch, and on all 3, he has scored. 17-5 is our score now. Runner gets a lead at second. Pitch is low and inside.
Has been a very efficient day at the plate for all these stat fans of Columbia College.
They put up some numbers today. There's a high fly ball, right field. If it stays fair, that's going to go. And it is foul. Not by much.
No, sir. I mean, on my way out, I may have to walk over there, see if it was really foul. That looked close. It was probably about 10 feet, 15 feet foul, but that's not a heck of a lot in the grand scheme of things when you hit the ball probably 350 there at least.
1-2 pitch. 2-2.
Be really unfortunate if you hit that 350 feet foul and then you strike out on a pitch high and wide.
Yeah, you get called out. Here comes the 2-2. That is 3-2 now, as that one was high.
The other really good thing for Columbia College, apart from obviously their hitting, is their vision. Really good way of seeing the ball out of the hands of most of the pitchers we've seen here today for Harris Stowe, and thus good patience at the plate.
Disciplined, yes. There's one in on the fist,
No
and
way.
that is just foul. Almost had to swing at that.
I feel like Matuszak and the right field line may go to war sometime this week.
Two runs in, nobody out. Runner at second. A full count to Matuszak. Next pitch, high ball 4.
Really intelligent play there from Brittany. He's just setting up the double play.
Yeah. Triple play.
Could be.
Dylan Carlton. He's walked, been hit by a pitch, singled. This one sails right over the top of his head.
That is not the first time that has happened today, and he's given the exact same facial expression as he did last time. He's consistent.
Next pitch. High fly ball, left field. Mojica makes the catch, and the runners stay at first and second. So Carlton flies out to left, and Chase McCaig comes in.
You know, he was camped under that for so long. I was really thinking he was going to try and put up a tent out in left field.
McCaig has singled, walked, and scored, and has a sacrifice fly to his credit. And the first pitch will be coming to him, and it is hit into right center field. This is back. Tillman chases. It is back, and it is off the fence, off the top of the wall, and everybody's going to move up one base.
Oh, Tillman ran into the wall as well. He went down for a second, grabbing his chest. He's going to walk out back into center field under his own power, but he was slow getting back up after putting that ball back in play.
That is a long single there.
And an unfortunate single. He would have had a double at least, but everybody had to wait to see if Tillman would have caught it because, I mean, you've seen the speed of Tillman today. He's very heavy liability to get out to a ball like that and catch it. We've seen it happen once.
Now Tyler Davis will get a chance with the bases loaded. Pitch is blocked there nicely by the catcher, Jaden Matthews. I don't see anybody working in the bullpen for Harris Stowe. Britton's pitch is low and in the dirt, 2-0. There's no place to put Tyler Davis. Jack Dunn is on deck.
So we've been talking about pitching staffs all week. It's not going to get all that much better.
This one's fouled back to the screen.
For Harris Stowe. They played William Woods 4 games in 2 days, Saturday, Sunday. That's not abnormal. But a doubleheader today against Columbia College where they've used, by my count, 7 pitchers. This is the 7th. And they've still got 4 more games against Williams Baptist Friday and Saturday. They will play 10 baseball games in 7 days. 8 days if you count the double Saturday.
Here's the next pitch. That is inside. No, that's ball 4. That'll force in a run. Tyler Davis picks up his 3rd RBI of the game. And McInnes touches the plate. And now we get some action in the bullpen and a visit to the mound. Give his pitcher some time to warm up. Well, this is my editorial of the situation of baseball these days and whether you want to hear it or not. But there is a lot of teams that play, and there's just not enough pitching to go around, and they try to play too many games in short periods of time. And I know you're squeezed in the high school and college seasons, but then you see it in the summer as well, and how many games you can cram in through July, and there's just not enough pitching. There's just not.
So, I mean, when you've got so many colleges as well, even if you have a 5 or 6 man rotation, we'll say for the sake of argument, a 6 man rotation, you can afford to play, on average, about 6 games a week. However, the problem arises when you've got some weather delays or postponements or really anything that throws awry in a schedule. And I think the famed saying I heard from one of the SID-esque people in the NCAA or NAIA scenes was, a schedule is a suggestion until the game starts.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Because, I mean, this, again, is a reschedule from February 24th, which means instead of playing 2 doubleheaders 2 days a week over a full week span and playing 8 games in 8 days, you're playing 10 games in 8 days, which kills your pitching. And for teams like Crowley's Ridge or teams like Williams Baptist, who were all in Arkansas at that point, and they were playing in 50-degree weather, they were actually playing that weekend. It's a benefit.
Yeah. But that's just the way it is, and you deal with it.
Welcome to baseball.
Yep. Jack Dunn looks at a curveball for the strike, and he is in ahead in the count, 2 balls and a strike. Dunn bats with the bases loaded. This is his 4th at bat already. We're just in the 4th inning. He is singled, been hit by a pitch, reached on a walk, and he swings and misses, chases the curveball. And Britton thought it was the 3rd out as he walks off the field, and now he gets the baseball back and goes back to the mound.
For a second, I thought it was strike 2 as well. I thought it was strike 2. The pitcher thought it was strike 3 and out 3. Everybody was wrong, and it's out number 2.
9th man to bat in the inning is Braden James. First pitch to him is low and in the dirt for ball 1. Next pitch coming. Curveball outside, 2-0. Sam Britton trying to get out of this inning. He's given up 3 so far. The next pitch. Ball low, 3-0.
3-0, and, I mean, we've seen Jaden James swing on 3-0 already.
I am sure he has the green light. You want to keep it in your zone, though. Here's the pitch. He takes a strike on the outside corner.
That's a good pitch to take.
Yep.
It's a strike, but it's not a strike that you want to swing at on 3-0.
Right.
You would have probably put your bat on it, but that's a liability to ground out or pop out. In my case, more than likely pop out.
3-1 pitch. He went after that one and hits it well out of play on the first base side.
That's virtually the same pitch we saw back on the 3-0 count as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you can imagine that result's going to be. It's a pitch you're going to swing at if you want it to have a reasonable way of getting out of that strike zone to anything other than a strike. It's 3-2.
Runners are going. The pitch. Shot in the left, foul. Runners were going on that 3-2 pitch.
Not only were they going, I think McCaig rounded third before the ball hit the ground. He was going from yesterday. He retouches second, and he's got a 20-foot lead at second base.
He's already halfway to third. Here's the pitch. Curveball, swing and a miss. Britton got him.
Back-to-back Ks.
So that's going to do it for the fourth inning for the Cougars, but they get 3 more. And they now lead 18-5. We'll take a break. You're listening to the Hornets Sports Network. It's the top of the order for the Harris Stowe Hornets, as it'll be Martin, Tillman, and Huggins to face a new pitcher, Lane Feeler. Feeler coming in, making his 5th appearance of the year. His first pitch is shot foul down the third base line, and he jumps ahead of Austin Martin.
You should see his facial expression when he releases the ball. He's angry to be pitching. Third base coach had to go grab the ball that had entered the field of play.
And Feeler ready to go. Nice pitch.
That's nasty.
That was nasty.
It's like a dropping two-seamer? A screwball, if you will?
That's what it looked like it came in on him. 0-2 pitch. Ground ball. Nice diving play by James. Throws from one leg. Got him. Play of the day. Play of the day. Defensively. Wow. Jaden James. How about that?
It's not like Austin Martin is a slow base runner either. He got down there with some speed, but it was fielded cleanly, getting up to a knee and releasing fairly quickly as well.
That was major league right there, folks.
That was impressive.
Amari Tillman steps in. He scored a run in this game. He was hit by a pitch, stole a base, and he popped out to second.
It's a third putout and 5 batters, by the way, for James.
Swing and a miss. So far, Lane Feeler's come in and he's been throwing strikes.
He's been throwing some quick strikes as well.
Swing and a miss. Down goes Tillman. Steven Huggins been on base both times he's been up in this game. He's walked and scored. He's singled. He's got an RBI. First pitch to him inside. Backs him off the plate. 1-0.
He's got one of 3 hits for the team. Yabnel Mahika and Walker Mann.
There's a strike at the knees. 1-1.
Other 2.
On deck, it is Walker Mann. Next pitch coming. Well inside. 2-1.
Good command thus far for Feeler. Also really good placement of a lot of these pitches. I feel like that, we'll say, pseudo screwball really catches off right-handed batters as well.
This one is fouled straight back off the screen just in front of us. And the deuces are wild on the scoreboard with 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs.
If I'm the catcher here, if I'm calling pitches and I'm the catcher, this is a screwball inside, come back across the plate.
There's a ground ball sharply hit to
Wow.
second. Nice backhanded stab and a throw to first as Bailey Quint takes care of his man. A nice clean inning for Lane Feeler. The Hornets go down 1-2-3, and we have played 4 full here, and it is an 18-5 lead for Columbia College. You are listening to the Hornet Sports Network, powered by collegecast.com. We'll be back for the 5th inning.
Joseph Mann takes over here to start off our 5th inning of play from Stars Park. Daniel Rodier and Jim Plyman alongside you here on the Hornets Sports Network. Hornets trail by 13 runs to start inning number 5. No relation, by the way, between Joseph Mann, the relief pitcher, and Walker Mann, the right fielder. 2 completely different countries, ironically, same spelling of the last name. Man's 1-1, hit towards the left side, wide open gap in the 5-6 hole, will escape through. Mahika will field and throw it in, but Bailey Quint has the leadoff hit.
He took a little off of that one, and Bailey Quint was all over it, slapped it into left field for the base hit as he continues his fine day.
Joseph Mann has almost the most work of any pitcher here for Harris Stowe, 24.2 innings of work. That is nearly a quarter of the entire team's season. 31 hits, 25 runs, 20 of those earned. He's got a 7.3 ERA. This one high into right field, easily fieldable by the other of the 2 Manns. Or men? Would they be plural men? No, I'm kidding. Out number 1 recorded.
Well, Braden McInnes, he has 3 hits today. He's got 3 RBIs, 3 hits in this game with 3 RBIs, 2 singles and a double.
His batting average is loving his performance today. 3 for 4 with that fly out. Reached on a walk. He had 3 singles, with a fly out and a strikeout. in the first game. Very impressive overall day for him. That one out towards Interstate 64.
Well, McGinnis started the day hitting .476. I'm not going to do the math, but he's increased his average.
He is 6 for 9. That one well into left field, pushing the left fielder, Mojica, back to the wall, but he makes the catch with a little bit of room between him and the fence. Out number 2 off of 2 hits that at New York Yankee Stadium would have been home runs, but basically everything is there, and that's why they win Silver Slugger Awards. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Well, there's the possibility that this could be the first inning that the Cougars don't score all day.
Unfortunately for the Hornets pitching staff, really any part of this lineup is not equally as dangerous, but nearly so as the other. The 5, 6, 7 hitters ready now. Matuszek in as of now. He's got a walk, a hit by pitch. He's got a homer already. That one, a ball in the outer half of the plate. 2-1. With 2 outs and a runner on first. That runner, again, is Bailey Quint. He got the leadoff single. Has been stuck there after a couple fly balls. Ball 3, low and away. Man has had good command of where he's wanted to put it. Speed change has been good. Getting those 3-4 hitters down as easily as he did was impressive. He can't do it for 3 in a row, however. A walk will put 2 runners aboard.
Well, now we got a runner in scoring position. They could still tack on some more.
Dylan Carlton has had 3 of the 7 ways you can get on base. Walk, hit by pitch, and a single. First pitch was a ball. Second one is skied well into the infield. Couple mistakes thus far for the Hornets infield.
Whoa.
Nearly another there for the second baseman, Katkar, but he is able to snow cone the ball that hit him in the palm and hold on to it for the 3rd out. The first half inning all day for Columbia College, where they do not score a run. It only took them 12 here in the afternoon of a Tuesday in March. A great afternoon for baseball. We're coming back with the bottom half of that 5th inning in just a couple minutes. Colin Vahabzadeh will be the 4th Cougar pitcher here in our second game of the doubleheader. He'll replace Lane Feeler in the home half of the 5th inning. Vahabzadeh also makes his first appearance on the season as the 6'1 sophomore pitcher from Columbia, Missouri. He went to Hickman High School and came to Columbia by way of Fort Scott Community College. .61 lefty. If I had to guesstimate, probably weighs in around about 170. He will face Walker Mann, Jaden Matthews, and Jeremy Kelly in that order, assuming he gets that far. The Hornets would love if he was unable to do so. Still a 13-run deficit the Hornets face here on their own sports network. Vahabzadeh's 0-1. I'd like to apologize to any of the Vahabzadeh family ahead of time if I say the last name incorrectly. That's like 5 syllables. The 0-2, he offered, but it did go in the dirt with some speed over to first on the outside of the bag. Really good transition over there at first base for the first baseman, McGinnis. Wren gets it over. The drop third strike still converts into an out, and one's on the board.
You know, we had talked earlier, but when you got to hurry and make a play, if you're a fielder, you got to remember to plant that front leg, and it was a nice job there by Tyler Wren. Even though he was under duress and had to hurry the throw, he did everything correctly and made a strong throw.
I was talking about the 7 ways to get on base. I think we've seen all but catcher's interference today.
We've seen a lot.
So we've had a walk, a hit, we've had a fielder's choice, definitely an error, a lot of hit by pitches. The only one we're missing is catcher's interference. That one low, 3-0. Jaden Matthews, the catcher's supposed to see the ball well. He's doing so fairly well here. However, grounding out to the first baseman and then the second baseman who actually threw it over to the pitcher for some very odd PFP in the first inning. And he struck out swinging in the second. He has not had an at-bat since the second inning. Barring an E6 for Yabnel Mahika to get on. They have been retired in order since Jaden Matthews. This one popped out in play and caught by the first baseman, McGinnis.
I think the sun is as bad as it's been all day.
Well, the problem is the sun is just over our left shoulder. You can see the shadow of our press box right in front of us. It is a nightmare if you ever at Harris Stowe. Come to a soccer game, but watch the game from Laclede Avenue because you won't be able to see a thing if you stick around for the tail end of the women's game from
our vantage
spectators' sideline. That baseball field's about 300 yards just off camera to the left, give or take.
Yeah, that's the second one that the pitcher has had trouble seeing from the catcher. He missed one already.
That's when you
just on a little toss back to the mound.
2-0. That one, little poke right up Broadway. It will float in for a hit. Little patience shown by the center fielder, Davis there, who did not want to over-aggress. Keep the ball in front of you. Yeah, you give up a hit. It is what it is. Nice hit there from Jeremy Kelly. So Malvin Gutierrez comes to the plate. Not a very successful day, but honestly hasn't had all that much chance to be unsuccessful. He's been hit by a pitch 3 times in these 2 games. That hanging curveball he fouls back over our heads. In this game, he also grounded out to the third baseman. One of the many impressive plays, courtesy of Jaden James. Jeremy Kelly on first. Gutierrez fouls it almost into the Cougar dugout. Home plate umpire's like, I need more baseballs.
Yeah.
It's a real expense for baseball teams. It's baseballs that need to be used in game. That one low for ball 1. 1 and 2 with a runner on first and 2 outs here for Gutierrez. Hornets need to string together as much as they possibly can, but with 2 outs, they won't get that chance. Strike 3 swing into Gutierrez. We're headed to the 6th, but it's still with the Hornets trailing by a couple touchdowns, bar an extra point here on the Hornet Sports Network.
All right, we're going to the top of the 6th inning. First pitch is a strike to the new batter in this ball game. It is Cooper Thornhill. There's a curveball. Thornhill hits it to center field, right center field, and that's going to find some open grass, and it's a base hit.
Basically the perfect defensive composition for what a right-handed batter should hit. But the new center fielder in Martinez, who was the pitcher in our previous game, or one of the 19, was not able to get there in time. And you can't really blame him. He was 175 feet from a blooper.
He hit the perfect spot as Thornhill, a freshman, there's a shot up the middle, right back at the pitcher and into the center fielder. Martinez into the game. He's had go get 2 balls already.
Yeah, he's already forced to play some active defense.
Pinch hitting for Dunn, number 31, Zach Friend.
I think that is because of Tillman running into the fence in the previous inning. They just want to give him a break.
Zach Friend gets to make an appearance in the ball game. He played in the first one. He's batting for Jack Dunn. So 2 up and 2 on here in the top of the 6th inning. Joseph Mann in a bit of a spot here. First pitch, fly ball. Martinez is back, fighting the sun. His glove is up. He makes the catch. Throws comes in over the head of the cutoff man, and both runners move up.
Honestly, even if that hits the cutoff, they're probably still moving up. Nice distance on that for Friend. Again, unfortunately, the deepest part of the ballpark to have that distance on.
Martinez has got to be thinking, what I do?
All right.
Chasing down a blooper, fielding a line drive single, and then going back for that one.
Molinax is back in the game. Or back in from our previous game. He replaces Jaden James.
So, man, second and third jam here, and Monex swings at the first pitch, and there it is to Martinez again. He comes in, makes the catch. Throw comes into second base, and the run will score on the sacrifice fly by Monex.
So that is the time to hit your cutoff man if you are in center field. Really good communication as well from the catcher Matthews there, yelling at the first baseman Huggins, cut 3 or cut hold. And Huggins could see this runner from second right in front of him. The cut 3 is an inference of if you can see him moving, throw it there. If you can't, hold on to it. It is a 19th run for Columbia College, but it is certainly some decent defense off of arguably really good pitching here for Harris Stowe.
And for Molenax, he had one bat in the first game, and it was a sacrifice fly to left. And he comes into this one and hits a sacrifice fly to center. So he picks up 2 RBIs and no at-bats. And we're going to have a pinch hitter in the spot for Quint.
The 14th pinch hitter of the game. I don't know if that's actually true. It's Hunter Hess again.
Pinch hitting for Quint, number 7, Hunter Hess.
The Eldon, Missouri native, went to, you guessed it, Eldon High School. It's a big guy. He's listed at 6'2". He looks much taller than that.
He's a freshman.
Oh.
And he walks into the batter's box, and he gets hit by the pitch.
Nice little hat
And
tip from the pitcher Joseph Mann saying, my bad, dude. Nice little sportsmanship there. Gotta love it.
So we're going to have another pinch hitter. This time it's going to be Jack Hotsey out of Webster Groves High School, and then went to Moberly Area Community College.
Everybody's getting their practice ABs in, it seems, for Columbia College in a 14-run game. I mean, this is the time to do it. Usually you want to have it for a lot of non-conference play. The problem with living in the Midwest is you don't get a lot of time for non-conference play.
That is true. So we have runners at first and second. There are 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Joseph Mann from the stretch, the pitch, bounced it foul. Just missed his foot. Oh, and 1 is the count. And the next one is coming. Ripped down the line in left field. That's a base hit. That's going to score 1. And the throw comes into third. And Hess just goes into second on the throw. Or excuse me, Hotsey. An RBI single there.
Pinch hitting for McGinnis, number 33, Ian Nolf.
Now an Ian Nolf steps in.
He had 1 AB today. He was either walked or hit by a pitch. But when he was walking over to first base, I was like, that's not the same guy.
Pitch to him is a high and outside.
So as of now, apart from the pitching staff for Columbia College, all but 3 players have been pinch hit for, and I'm certain Matashek's about to have the same fate.
He is. Alex Hagen's going to be the next batter if it gets to him, if Nolf can keep the line moving here. 2 runs are already in. There's a pitch high and tight. There's ball 2, 2-1.
So Cooper reached. Davis was hit.
There's a good pitch, good fastball, swing and a miss. Two. Now it's 3-2. On deck hitter is Alex Hagen. He's wanting to get up there with the bases loaded. Will he on the full count? The pitch. Ground ball right through the legs of Gutierrez at third. 2 runs will score, and Hagen will get a chance to bat. As the play comes in to the plate, ball gets away. The runner stays at first. And it's it's an error on the third baseman. E5.
Pinch hitting for Manishak, number 20, Alex Hagan.
Hagan will be the pinch hitter. It seems like they're going to let Mann finish out at least this inning. No action in that bullpen. That is the 4th run to come home this inning.
21 runs in the first game for Columbia College. 22 so far in this game. We're only in the 6th inning. It's a 7-inning doubleheader. The games are played to their entirety, so we will play this out. There's no mercy rule or run rule. Hagan taps one down to first. Big hop, look out, it's an error. On about a 5-hopper, and that last hop came right up on Huggins.
Hitting for Carlton, number 3, Colton Nichols.
Now it is Nichols. Is going to bat for Carlton. Hagan's first pitch is way outside. Nice play by the catcher, Jaden Matthews, lunging out to his right. Next pitch is a strike.
So Nichols is the 9th batter to come to the plate. 4 scoring, 2 on base, 2 got out. Barring a pickoff, they will bat around here in the 6th.
Here's the hit pitch. Swing and a miss. In on his fist. That's a good pitch.
Nice little Taylor behind it as well there for Mann.
The 1-2 pitch. Curveball high.
That thing started high and got higher. A little odd arm slot for Joseph Mann there. Made his curveball just escape.
Freshman faces a 2-2 count, and it's strike 3 call. Well, that might have been a generous strike, but either way, he is out, and the inning is over. So, 4 more score. And as we go to the bottom of the 6th, it is a 22-5 lead for Columbia College over Harris Stowe. We'll be back for the bottom of the 6th. Bottom of the 6th inning rolls around here at Stars Park on the campus of Harris Stowe. Yabno Mojica leads it off. A new pitcher, Carter Hutzel, is in. got Mullinex at third, Friend at short, Quint at second, and Nolf is over at first. Those are the known changes that I have.
There's probably a small army of players who have swapped over since then.
Yeah, I believe Nichols is in right field.
Yes, Nicholson right. Mullinex at third.
There's a base hit for Mojica. His second hit of the game. Oh, it's made, but no, almost a great play by that shortstop.
Now batting number 3, Jordan Bradley.
Does reach on a base hit up the middle. Imagine he gets thrown out there.
Yeah. So Bradley's going to bat for Hetcart.
Binoculars. Nope. Trying to figure out who's in center field.
Yeah, I don't,
Sorry.
Hutzel, the lefty, delivers, and it is a ball low.
It's number 39 in center field.
All right, that's Sutton Hanks. There's a strike thrown by Carter Hutzel. And it's 1-1. We're trying to get all the changes here. So, got a man at first.
Hagen is in left.
Hagen's in left. Okay, that does it. Hagen in left, Hanks in center, Nichols in right. 9 new players at ground ball, slowly hit. Mullinex has it. Over to second, 1. Over to first. Safe.
Good speed to break the fielder's choice there. What would have been the double play for Hetcart.
I'm going to ask us,
Now batting
might
number
be
13, Austin Martin.
a non-smart question, but have we had a double play today?
We have not.
I don't think so.
Nope. Actually, I think that is the first full fielder's choice.
I think
There
you're
was an
right.
attempted fielder's
Yeah,
choice that
I
was
think you're right.
unsuccessful.
Good fastball thrown there by Hutzel.
They're making sure the catcher's okay on the backswing from Austin Martin. Okay, so quickly run me through it. Who's at short?
We have Friend at short. Quint is at second. Nolf is at first. And Mullinex is at third. And behind the plate is Hotsy.
That's who it is.
There's a throw to first, and getting back there is Bradley.
So including Hutzel, they changed their entire defensive lineup bar Quint.
Yep. Hutzel, next pitch. Good fastball, fouled back off to the area where they are doing some construction out there on Market Street.
I feel like some construction is an insult to I-70. That is all the construction you can do on as much of Market Street as you can get to. Slightly convenient.
Austin Martin in the hole 0-2 against the lefty, Carter Hutzel. Hutzel throws to first. Got a 17-run lead, and we're throwing to first.
He's not in a rush. He doesn't have like a bowling league to get to or anything.
Well played. Next pitch. Fouled off.
I got Texas Roadhouse to get to, man. Or I just want to beat rush hour traffic, but
Yeah, well, I'm going to have to deal with that too. But
I kind of miss that
that's
front.
all right. So count still in favor of the lefty, Carter Hutzel. Checks the runner and fires. There's a ground ball off the diving glove of Quint. It goes into left center, and Bradley heads all the way over to third. Oh, another a base hit there for Martin. No, and it's a diving play by Quint. That would have been an outstanding play, but it went off the top of his glove and into left center on the deflection.
May have actually helped him if it got by, because it would have cleanly gotten into center field and at least playable for Hanks. Didn't seem to be the case, though.
Adrian Martinez will get an at bat here. And we'll have a little lefty on lefty here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Swing and a miss.
Got him with the curveball immediately.
Yes, he did.
Watch for a fastball out now, just to set him up again. I'd go fastball out, fastball in with the lefty on lefty matchup. This is a dream first pitch scenario for Carter Hutzel.
Hutzel delivers.
There's that fastball out.
Yep.
Didn't find the zone he was looking for.
To me, just watching today, Hutzel has got one of the faster fastballs that we've seen. He's got a little zip on this.
Say Deshaun Morgan had the fastest. He just had, we'll say, no control.
Yeah. Well,
I say
we didn't see him long enough.
That's true. Maybe it just takes him 4 batters to warm up, and he loaded the bases.
There you go.
And give him the chance.
Martinez jumps back in the batter's box. He's ready to go. 1st and 3rd, 1 out. Hutzel checks the runners, delivers. This one's high. On deck, Miguel Navarro. Looks like he'll bat for Huggins. Hutzel's pitch. In on a fist.
Oh.
Just got his bat out to save his hands there.
At that same point, though, it would have been either a hit by pitch or a walk. He would have been on first instead of facing a full count if he just backed up. It looked like a little two-seamer riding in on him. He wasn't ready for it.
The count is full. Runners on at 1st and 3rd. 1 out. Bottom of the 6th action here at Stars Park at Harris Stowe State College. Hutzel. Runner going. Foul back. We'll do it again.
He's keeping himself alive here. And I like the decision to run. Martinez is not hit the ball in the air all that much unless he's fouling it back. This is more than likely going to be a ground ball, especially with the pitch selection for Carter Hutzel. You get that runner moving, you avoid a possible double play. Now, Martinez already has some decent speed, so he could avoid that himself, but you're either hitting into a double play or you're hitting to avoid it.
Here's the pitch. Curveball misses. High and outside. So, Martinez walks. Miguel Navarro will step in. So the bases are loaded for Mr. Navarro.
The umpire is pulling out his phone. Oh, no, he wasn't. Okay, he's pulling out his notebook. I just want to make sure. Because he pointed at the sky like we're running out of daylight, which we're not.
No. Navarro looking for his first hit of the season. He has an RBI. He's batted 3 times. And another lefty on lefty situation. Here's the pitch to him. It's ball high. Walker Mann is on deck. And we're going to have a visit to the mound.
I think they're going to pull him. In a 17-run game. I feel like the main point here is, especially in these games that are just objectively not close, your goal as a coach is to get the players who you weren't able to see as much in non-conference play.
Yep.
To see what they can do. So they're taking this as seriously as if it's a 2-0 ball game.
Well, you want to see how if he can work out of the jam as well.
Some pressure on. 1-0 count, full.
And there's a strike. It's 1-1. Bases loaded. 1 out for the Hornets. Next pitch. Off the fist, it'll flare into short left field, and going out to make the play is friend And that's the second out of the inning as Navarro pops out.
Now batting number 11, Walker Mann.
And Walker Mann will step in. He's got a 2-run double. He's flied out to right, and he has been a strikeout victim.
The unfortunate, non-so-fruitful out with the bases loaded. At least not productive out.
Yep.
Nobody moves up, nobody can move around, and you get just a pop out.
Mann looks at strike one. Hutzel ready, and he delivers, and a swing and a miss, strike two. Trying to get out of this bases loaded jam. Carter Hutzel, 0-2. Pitch is swing and a miss. He got Mann. And Hutzel got himself out of the jam with a pop-up and a strikeout. And that will do it for 6 innings here at Stars Park. It is a 22-5 lead for Columbia College. Come on back for the 7th inning.
Back underway here in the 7th inning of play. New pitcher here for Harris Stowe. Not a new player for the team as a whole thus far today. Logan Schwert goes from first base in our first game. He takes over the pitching duties here in the 7th inning of game numero dos. 17-run ball game, 22-5 for Columbia College. And Cooper is back in to bat against Schwert. Schwert has had a very impressive, albeit lack of that many innings, 2025 season thus far. 5.06 ERA. He's 0-1. That's his win-loss, but he's had 4 appearances. He's got a save, 5.1 innings pitched, and he's only given up 3 earned runs in those 5.1 innings pitched. A little surprised he has not been playing as much recently, but we may see him more overall. That one just rides inside. Two and one. Schwert right off the fists of Cooper. Should be catchable. It's not. How in the world does nobody get that one? It falls in the Devil's Triangle. Gutierrez and Martin couldn't get there. And No Man's Land has played victim to another Harris Stowe pop. Opening runners aboard. And he should have been out by a mile. We'll say an infield hit, but only because nobody was able to fully field it. So Cooper is easily able to get aboard. Sutton Hanks who batted for Davis in the previous inning, is still in. He got hit by a pitch and then proceeded to score. Now towards left field, he will line out to the left fielder. That's Mojica. One out here in the top half of the seventh. Zach Friend back at the plate. The 6'3 junior pitcher and infielder from O'Fallon, Missouri. Went to Lutheran St. Charles High School and then Moberly Area Community College. Strike one swinging. Runner on first is Thornhill. Nice block by Matthews. Keeps things in front and keeps Thornhill at first, although, again, I don't think he'd be running anyway. Swung on towards left field. That'll easily drop for a hit. Nearly bounces over Mojica. A weird hop out and left. Everybody moves up a station, and it's first and second now with the one out. Nick Mullinex comes back to the plate as well. He's got a sac fly already after taking out Jaden James, who had a very impressive day at the plate, an arguably more impressive day out in the field. Columbia College as a team has been extremely impressive. Apart from this inning, which still is far from done, the fifth inning of this game is the only one thus far that has not resulted in them scoring at least one. Mullinex watches ball one go by. One and one to the replacee back in the sixth inning. Again, one out. Now when strike two goes by. Schwartz seemingly finding his rhythm. Hitting the plate where he needs to. Does so again. Swung on and fouled back by Mullinex. And we'll try the 1-2 again. Schwartz offering basically the same spot, this time pushed out towards right field, but foul. Schwartz lost the ball in the sun on the, I'm not going to say weak toss from the umpire, who turns around and realizes, yes, there is indeed the sun. My bad. Here's Schwartz 1-2 again. Swung on and missed. Strike three swinging for Mullinex. Second strikeout of the one hole thus far in this one. First for Mullinex individually. O'Neill will take over for Hess, who took over for Quint in the previous inning. And then Quint went back to play defense, but he's now been replaced again. I do not believe he can re-enter a second time into his own spot, but I don't religiously follow the NAIA rulebook, so I could be wrong on that. Grounded the shortstop hole. Long throw over to first. O'Neill's quick. The throw much quicker. Out number 3 on the inning. And it's 2 separate innings where Columbia College does not score. However, a 10 spot in the second inning and, 12 other runs across the other 4 where they do. Still leaves it to a 22-5 ball game. Harris Stowe needs a couple touchdowns and a field goal, and there is no football team here at the only HBCU in downtown St. Louis. They'd like to pick that one up in the home half of the 7th to either send this one to extras or maybe even win it in regulation. Whether that'll happen or not, go buy a lottery ticket and maybe find out. We'll be back in just a minute. Sperling makes his first appearance of the season here at Stowe State University. Noah Sperling coming into today. He is a 6-foot junior from Irvine, California. Went to, here's an oxymoron, University High School. Yes, that's a thing. He's the pitcher here for Columbia College. He is the 6th pitcher in a game where the team has only given up 5 runs, and 4 of those were in the first inning, 3 of them on the same guy. It's been a very back-and-forth game, at least it was for the first 15 minutes. 2 hours and 36 minutes is about how long this stream has gone. 2 hours and 35 is just about the official game time up to right now. It's the bottom of the 7th inning. This is the 7th inning of a 7-inning doubleheader. There is nothing after this unless Stowe finds 17 runs. They could use some help. Jaden Matthews is the first one to bat here in the home half of the 7th. Thus far, he's grounded out, struck out, and I believe he struck out again. Already down in an 0-2 hole. That one well high. Very odd arm slot there for Sperling. Comes square over the top and leads well with his elbow. That one just inside off the fist there of Matthews, who throws the bat, but this one could be danger. It is not. Easily fielded by O'Neill, who does fully replace Quint. Quint was replaced temporarily, then came back into the game to play defense, and finally has exited the game. And now is Carter Henderson, the 6'1" sophomore first baseman from San Diego, California. It's a couple of Californians pitching and batting. First pitch, a curveball high, just misses the zone. Henderson, good eye on his first pitch, but still has a lot in front of him. Good command thus far for Sperling, and as I say that, he misses just wide. I say just wide like it wouldn't have hit a left-handed batter. That one misses by a country mile. Would have taken out a left-handed batter. R.I.P. Bob Euchre. Emilio Renteria is on deck. Behind him, Mojica will bat in his own place. Renteria will replace Gutierrez in the third base hole and that 7 batting hole. 4-pitch walk to the pinch hitter. We'll put him on first base. Henderson reaches. So Renteria will replace Gutierrez and come to bat. Henderson replaces Kelly and reaches first base. And a little round of applause from the slight home faithful and the dugout as well. Strike run to Renteria. Renteria, just the 6-foot sophomore from Houston, Texas. Still getting some of his first reps at the collegiate level. That throw into second base on a pass ball. The scoop unsuccessful. It actually sent the ball into short right field, but nothing further there for Henderson. He didn't want to push his luck. understandably so. In the grand scheme of things, let's be honest here, he does not matter. He needs a lot to happen behind him, and then he will have to score again. So him moving up is only predicated upon players behind him being successful. He does not need to create runs. If they're going to matter, they're going to be created for him. Before Renteria took over, Gutierrez had a hit by pitch. He grounded out to what was James at third base, and then he struck out swinging to end the 5th inning. Here Renteria faces a 3-1 count. Liable to get on back-to-back walks, could make this a little bit longer of a 7th inning than Columbia College was hoping for, considering their pitching staff has a very important couple of doubleheaders this weekend. It is indeed a walk. And first and second. So Mojica comes to bat. He's gotten on base twice, once courtesy of an error out in shortstop. He singled and grounded out he was put out on a fielder's choice after singling in the 6th inning. Mojica with 2 runners on, watches ball 1 just inside. What looks to be Jordan Bradley is waiting on deck to replace Kotkar. Ball 2 outside. A command issue here for Noah Sperling, and he's going to have a conversation with his head coach. Now, this is not a head coach who is a stranger to a pitching staff, much less a coaching staff who is a stranger to a pitching staff. Number one, because they're a collegiate coaching staff, and I'd really hope they know how to cover their pitchers. But at the same time, this is a coaching staff that stretches back all the way back to Harris Stowe in the 04-05 season. We brought it up at the beginning of Game 1. I'll bring it up one more time. Darren Munns was the head coach in 2004 and 2005. There was a 23-game win difference between 04 and 05. That is the largest deficit I think I've ever seen at the NAIA level, and he still holds the record for a single season wins here at Harris Stowe. His associate head coach, Boomer McAndrews, or Craig Boomer McAndrews, was one of the pitchers on that 04-05 team that won up to 34 games. Like I said, they've got some background in the pitching realms. That conversation did apparently not yield all that much fruit. It's still 3-0. And strike 1 is watched by Mojica, but you can't imagine he had a green light, down 17 runs and a 3-0 count. After 2 consecutive players were walked behind him, each of them pinch hitters, I might add. Mojica watches a 3-1 go by, and he thought it was strike 2, but it was indeed called as a ball. He will walk as well. It is a game where there has been a fair amount of bases on balls. Those included Jordan Bradley comes to bat, the 5'6" sophomore. He's a middle infielder from just down the street in St. Louis, Missouri. With 1 out, he bats with the bases loaded here in the 9-hole. And he bats and sends it out towards left field. Does it find pay dirt? Yes, it does! Off the diving hand of Hagan. He can't get there. 2 runs will score into third. Maybe safely. Yes, he is. Mojica reaches. Bradley hits a double. And Harris Stowe has some life here at Stars Park in the 7th inning. Took a little bit of time for them to get going, but as soon as 3 walks were put on the board, the team's like, well, we've been given so many free opportunities, we'd be much obliged not to take them. Here they will, and oh my goodness, we're going to see a pitching change. The handshake line generates just outside the Cougar dugout. We'll find out who the new pitcher is and give you a couple stats about them in just a minute here on the Hornets Sports Network. So Eli Cornish makes his collegiate debut here in downtown St. Louis. The 6-foot freshman Columbia native went to Hickman High School alongside, honestly, half of Columbia College. It's either Hickman, Herman, or Seckman, one of those three. His first or second pitch is sent well into right field, caught easily, but with the cutoff man being hit, it's a sac fly there for Austin Martin. Martinez will come in and bat as well. The sac fly will plate one, and the runner will move over to third. It is 22-8 here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. 3 runs have scored here in this 7th inning, but it would be a heck of a rally. A hit by pitch certainly helps that case. Martinez gets nailed by the fastball. Navarro now comes to the plate with runners on first and third. Very short-lived AB for Martinez. He has already walked and been hit by a pitch. Navarro last time out popped out to the shortstop with the bases loaded. Stowe proceeded to strand all those players with Walker Mann striking out swinging. Here is Navarro. Lefty on lefty matchup. It escapes to the backstop, and now with some speed, a run scores. Talk about a free pass. They will certainly take that one, with Bradley scoring there. So it is a strike on the swing. Both 4 runs home here in the home half of the inning, and now a runner singular on second base. It is basically 12 or 13 straight hits that are required. Navarro with a bell ringer avoids that one. It's 1-1. Lefty deals well high. With the way his form looks, the extent of his problems on this mound are just not extending his plant leg far enough. Usually the further you extend that leg that you fully contract, the easier it is to get the ball down. Just doesn't seem to be doing so, at least not all the way. Navarro watches ball 3. It's 3-1. The lefty-on-lefty matchup, you'd imagine, would be favoring this pitcher. He's not having the best of time. Swing and a hit, but it's a swing and it hit Navarro. That is strike 2, and one Navarro would very much like back, because if he didn't swing, it either would have hit him or at least would have been ball 4. He'd be standing on first base right now. Instead, he's got a full count with 2 outs in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Usually a dream scenario for a player, just not when you're down 13 runs. Full count, 2 outs, runner on second base, who I'd imagine would not be moving. At least common intelligence would tell you that. Martinez shouldn't be going. He's not. But Navarro watches strike 3 go way by, and that's how this one comes to a close. The doubleheader goes 2-0 in the favor of Columbia College. They will increase their stature here in the American Midwest Conference. They'll go up to 15-3 overall. Make it 10-2 in conference play. Stowe falls to 3-14 and 1-11 in conference play. Columbia College has Missouri Baptist on the other side of a little bit of a break. They'll have a doubled up doubleheader this weekend against the shared number 1 team in the AMC. Missouri Baptist is currently beating Crowley's Ridge 13-2 in the bottom half of the 4th inning. They already won game 1 of that doubleheader, 27-0. The rest of Columbia College's schedule is as such, as soon as my cellular data helps me load it. As mentioned, they will play MOBAP March 13th and March 15th. They'll play on Thursday and Saturday. 5-7 on Thursday, 1-3 on Saturday. Missouri Valley College, and then they've got a couple against William Woods, couple against UHSP, Mid-American Nazarene University, and Hannibal LaGrange after that. And after that, it's fairly pointless to tell you now. Almost certainly will a couple games get rescheduled between now and then. But for Harris Stowe, it's a couple games they need to win. With the Lemoyne Owen College games postponed last week, they lost 4 straight to William Woods. They just lost the remaining 2 of their 4-game season series against Columbia College. It's Williams Baptist on Friday and Saturday, 12-2 on Friday, 12-2 on Saturday, Rust College on Wednesday the 19th, and then they will play CBC, Central Baptist, on March 21st and March 22nd. 12 and 2 p.m. are both of the 2 sets of start times then. My name's Daniel Rodier. I was joined by Jim Plyman earlier, who literally had to go bowling, so he escaped just about 15 minutes ago. Thanks for hanging out with us here on Prepcasts. Final score, Columbia College 22, Harris Stowe State 9. Columbia College enters into downtown St. Louis, and they take both of this doubleheader series on a very nice Tuesday for baseball. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the week.